Content warning. Echo can be emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised. The inside of Kutso's trailer is the opposite of its exterior. It's brightly lit and tidy, nothing like Brian's place. It's a little cramped as any trailer would be, but the furniture is arranged neatly and the kitchen is spotless. Everything looks way newer than the trailer is on the outside. Oh my god. I imagine the raccoon did a lot of work to get it to look like this. Kutso quickly guides me to the small love seat and makes as if to lay me down. I put a hand against the chest, feeling my stomach turn. Wait, I think I'd rather sit up. Do you need anything? Food or a drink? Kutso's looking into my eyes with dark brown and the brows above them furrowed in deep concern. I nod slowly as not to upset my stomach again. Just water, please. Sure. Kutso quickly hurries off to the kitchen and I slowly lean into the cushions behind me. I'm not tired at all, but I feel numb. And not just physically. My arms throb and it feels like the leather straps are still bound to my wrist. It even feels like they're being pulled by invisible force. Like if I relax my arms, they would float back up into the fixed position. Yeah, no, that happens. Like if you ever, like when you were younger, did like that trick where you push against the door frame with your hands onto your side, and then you let go, like for a few minutes, and then you let go, it'll raise up. That's what happens when enough force has been pulled on your arms. It will like reset into that position. I shudder, hugging my body, then look around trying to find something else to focus on. A grouping of 3 picture frames on a small side table next to the love seat catches my attention. From where I'm sitting, I can see Kutso in one of them, beaming at the camera. It's actually kind of weird to see him smiling like that. There's an arm around his neck and I start to lean over a bit to see who it is. Here. Kutso appears in front of me again, holding out a glass of water. I straighten him back up against the cushions. Once I take the glass, he holds out his other hand with 2 white pills resting in the black pads of his palm. Acetaminophen, if you're in pain. Y'all are just giving Tylenol like it's no tomorrow. Like, damn. I definitely am. So I take it and the glass without a word and swallow it down. Like, not even questioning it for a second thought. For a second, my stomach sours and I feel like it's gonna come back, but only for a second. Kutso steps back and watches me. Oh god, I feel like he's gonna betray me. That person in the other picture is probably Duke or Brian. I'm concerned. So scared that the person that saved me is probably gonna send me back to them. That's a horrible fear. Even though his face maintains its stoic, almost glare. I see his hands fidgeting together in front of his stomach. I nod weakly at the recliner across from me. You know, you want to sit or something? Kutso seems to consider, then walks over to the recliner. He sits on the very edge of the cushion, back rigid, continuing to stare at me. I take another sip of water, less this time, as in not to upset my stomach. It looks like he wants to say something, but keeps silent, lips pressed together. Kutso watches me the whole time. What's wrong? Kutso opens his mouth and closes it, thinking before opening it again. Are you okay? Yeah, sort of. I mean, I'm not gonna die, I think? I'm not really sure if I'm completely okay. Everything still feels numb. My thoughts feel sluggish too, and something that's been nagging at the back of my head since I got here suddenly bubbles up to the surface. Did you call the police? I absentmindedly reach for my phone in my pocket, but it's not there. I have no idea where it is at this point. Was it still at Leo's house? There's a tight look of concern on Kutso's face. Phones aren't working. Even my landline isn't working. Concern! Concern! Red flag! Number 2. My foggy brain tries to process this. What? Why did the phone lines break? Or what? Why? Did the phone lines break or something? Kuzo shakes his head. I don't know. Should we walk to my car or something and drive to Payton? I look back out the pitch black window. We need to tell someone. We need to tell someone right now. Janice and Leo are still out there. There's no way Janice had been found by now. There should be a police everywhere. Where are the cops? I turn back to Kuzo, feeling sick again. Kuzo doesn't say anything, and he got a strange look on his face, like he's trying to figure out how to tell me something. Finally, he stands up. I'll figure something out. Listen, I think you need to get some rest. I don't trust this. I don't trust this. I'm proud. I really want to trust him. I like him, but we need to get someone out there. What if Brian comes after me? I shrink and gnaw myself at the thought, feeling goosebumps erupt over my arm. Kuzo steps closer to me and awkwardly reaches out to put a hand on my shoulder. You'll be fine. Do you want to lay down in my bed? I don't say anything, but my head is trying to catch up, and I'm trying to, like, discern whether or not this is a trap or not. I feel like this is a trap, and, like, I'm panicking a bit. It's a waterbed. That's concerning, Kuzo adds, as if they'll make the offer more tempting. He thinks, you hungry? I have muffins. It might help you get some sleep. Like, why are you trying to get me to sleep so much? I could have a concussion or something. What? No, I don't want to get the fuck out of here. A loud pop makes me jump and I stand up. I'm not sure what I'm about to do, but Keza reaches out gently to hold me before pulling me away from the window. Faintly, I can hear some shouting outside, but it's far away. What was that? Is someone shouting? I look at Kuzo, staring at to feel desperate. He puts an arm around me, at the same time moving towards the end of the trailer where a big bed is tucked in. I don't know. A lot of things are happening right now, so I think we should stay here to be safe, okay? For now, at least. I hold on to the raccoon, unsure of what to do. Listen. He holds me by both arms, and I look back at him. You gotta trust me that we can't leave right now. I'll explain it after you've rested it for a bit. He pauses. I can tell you're not really here right now. Here right now? You'll feel better once you wake up, alright? No, am I still in the freaking thing? If I sleep, I don't have to think. Just blank my head and rest. My head is buzzing and I feel like laying down might straighten things out. Kuzo gently but firmly forces me to sit down on the bed. Despite his slender build, I can feel his strength in his lean muscles. But what about Brian and Duke? Kuzo slowly pushes me back down to the bed. The water underneath the surface is sloshing faintly. I haven't been on an actual waterbed for years. Carl used to have one. Where is Carl? Where is everyone? I want to go back to the motel and find my friends again, but Kuzo seems adamant on keeping me here. I got Leo's gun. Saw it on the ground when I went to check on you guys. Wait, Leo didn't have a gun on him. That gun was still in the house. Woo! I'll be standing up, cracking my legs. Oh boy! Okay. He must be able to tell from the look on my face that I'm not at ease because he reaches out again to rest a hand on my chest. I'm still awkward, but it's comforting at least. I'll be here all night. Nothing's gonna happen. That does make me feel a little bit better. At least well enough to maybe get some rest. Okay. I stare at the ceiling as I lay back. Still feeling numb, but in a way that helps me blank my mind. In what feels like less than a minute, I pass out. Oh, did he drug me? I feel like if I kept walking along the train tracks, I'll be able to find my way out of here. I make sure that I walk in the middle, using the planks like stepping stones. The steel rails on either side of me feel like some sort of barrier, a protection to whatever it is that's out there. I feel a presence in front of me, though a sort of pressure that builds as I continue to walk. Looking up, I can see that it's coming from the weird grove of trees that bunch up around the train yard. Something is crouched in front of the grove, staring at me from there. I keep walking though, because for some reason, I don't feel like I have anything to worry about as long as I stay on the tracks. I know something else behind the hunched figure. A few bulky objects hanging from the tree. I know what they are before I can make them out. I keep staring at them as I draw closer, ignoring the thing that's watching me as I do, hearing it breathe as it passes it. Now I can see there are several bodies hanging from the tree. They're all of shapes of species, some hanging by their necks, others by their wrists or ankles. One of them passes me within a few feet and I notice that it doesn't have legs. Both of them are cut off at the thigh. It's a wolf, and he dangles by one of the stumps. Blood stains his dusty cream-colored pants and shirt all the way up to his face. As I pass him, he slowly turns on the rope as if following my progress. I look down at the corpse's face, the mouth hanging, open eyes wide. It's like he wants to tell me something important. I can feel my body again, but it's numb and heavy. Slowly, I open my eyes. I see the beige ceiling of the Kutsu's trailer. I flick my eyes to the right, and I see Kuso there, but only his back. He seems to be frozen, like he's in a photo. He's not even breathing. I can't see the window very well from here, but the small corner I see eyes. Trigger warning, it's gonna go! When I wake up, Kuso's next to me in the bed, his back to me, one of his ears folded under his head. Having been with Leo for a few years, I know that can be pretty painful when you wake up. So I reach out and try to slowly adjust Kuso's ears from underneath his head, but he immediately wakes up. He makes a funny snorting sound before suddenly jerking up halfway off the bed, looking back at me. I smile sheepishly. Sorry, I was trying to fix your ear. Kuso reaches up, poking at the ear. Yeah, oh, thanks. I notice on the bedside table that there's a small plate with what looks to be a blueberry muffin on it. Oh boy, this joyful music, and not so stressful at all. Kuso notices and reaches out for it. You want to eat it? I ate a couple earlier myself. I didn't realize how hungry I was. He lowers his ears. Still, one left though. My stomach has settled for the most part, so I take the plate from him. Thanks. It's still dark outside. From what I can see, did we sleep through a whole day? I realize that I've completely lost track of time. What time is it? Kuso reaches over the bedside table, grabbing his phone. 2:30 in the morning. I rub my face. Did we sleep through the day or something? No, you were asleep for like 2 hours. Really? It felt like it had been days since what happened in Brian's trailer. Yeah, I found you around midnight. Kuso turns nimbly on his rear on the bed, facing me with his legs crossed. How are you feeling? I'm okay. Kuso gives me a long, hard look. Again, he has the expression of wanting to say something, but he's holding back. What is it? Kuso lets out a breath. Listen, I'm not going to ask what happened with Brian, but if you ever want to talk about it, talking about Brian is the last thing I want to do. I can feel the thread of violent shivers coming up my spine just thinking about him. Kuso reaches out one of his black hands to rub at my shoulder. Awkward and comforting as always. I've been through some stuff myself. Kuso catches himself. Not saying I know what you went through, but I know it can feel like having something really fucked up happen to you. Let me drink some water. I don't think I've ever seen Kuso stumble over his words like this. I mean, I'm not trying to say that it's comparable if he, Kuso trails off, seemingly stunned at his own lack of delicacy. For the first time since I left the trailer, I feel a little bit like laughing. I reach up to rub Kuso's own arm, feeling like I need to comfort him now. No, it's fine, man. He didn't do anything like that. At least, not how you think he would. Kuso watches me. I know he's not going to ask, so I go on. He has a thing for asphyxiation, I guess. Oh, jeez. Kuso's eyes immediately go to my neck. I'm fine. It was just creepy. Creepy, definitely. Doesn't begin to describe it, but I don't think now's the time to go into details. I look out the window again, and aside from a few orange dots of light from faraway lampposts, it's black. So, can you tell me what's going on now? Kuso runs a hand through his head for sighing heavily and look out the window with me. Sure you don't want to wait until morning? I really don't think I'm going to be able to fall asleep again, honestly. Kuso continues to stare out the window, and that's when I really start to wonder what it was that I missed. So yesterday, about noon, is when I saw some weird stuff going on. Kuso looks at me. Your friend, TJ, he came kind of jogging up the road. My mind flashes back to when I saw TJ running past the diner. I hadn't had time to really figure out what he was doing before Duke barged in. He said someone was after him and that he needed to leave. He talked to you? Where is he? I feel the fur prickling up all over my body. The thought of TJ might be out there somewhere in this chaos is terrifying. How could someone like him survive that? I'm certainly doing a terrible job. I don't know. He asked me if I had a car, but I don't, so he kept on running up the road. There's nothing past Kuzo's trailer aside from Carl's house, and that's over a mile away. But Carl doesn't have a car anymore. Maybe just staying with the Ram? I hope that's the case. After he left, though, is when things really started going crazy. Kuzo shakes his head. You know Dale? Yeah. Dale is the only otter in town that my family has left. He was walking up the road with a fucking shotgun, pointing it around and stuff. Is that out of the ordinary for Dale? I wanted to go back on the topic of TJ. If he went up the road away from town, we could still find him. But he was bleeding. He had cuts on his legs and his jeans were all ripped up. Oh. But he knocked on my door. I didn't open it, but he yelled through it saying there was a meeting in the center of town. What kind of meeting? A fucked up one, apparently. Anyway, I went over to Leo's house to see if he was home. Then I saw the window. Kuzo rubs the back of his neck, his ears lowering. Obviously, I knew some bad shit had happened, but I had no way of fucking knowing that. Anyway, I went to the town center hoping I'd see you two there, but just getting there was crazy. Jeremy's house was burning. Janice's house looked like it had been broken into. Jeremy's house? That's where Gina's... That was Gina's house. Didn't run into anyone until I got to the townhouse. The whole thing is just getting bigger and bigger. While I've been in Brian's trailer, everything had been falling apart outside. But why? What's going on? Kuzo shakes his head. I still don't know that even after they told me. Who? The older guys, Mark, and the mayor said something about this have happened before, that it was our town or something. Oh wait, it was our turn or something. Our turn? What does that mean? Kuzo shakes his head again. I don't know. They just said it happened to their grandparents, that we had to be ready. Ready? Did they tell you what to do? Said to pray. Is that all they told you? Basically, acted like there was nothing we can do about it, and Kuzo pauses. What? They also said we can't leave and showed us a body. I stare. Like a dead body? Yes. What is going on? I feel my voice rise in pitch and Kuzo puts up his hand as if trying to quiet me down. I don't know, but there were weird cuts on the body. They said we can't leave because something out there will stop us if we try to leave town. I stare at Kuzo. Like a serial killer or something? They wouldn't say. They acted like it was a monster. Well, then they're lying, right? Kuzo is quiet for a moment, then shakes his head. After everything I've seen, I just don't know. Well, I think I was trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do. Well, we need to find Leo, at least. Kuzo nods, like he was already thought about that. Then maybe we get my car and at least try to leave. Kuzo doesn't say anything to that. But if we can't leave, for whatever reason, then we at least need to find the rest of my friends. I look at Kuzo. Well, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to be... Kuzo gives a smile. Well, I don't have anywhere else to go aside from out of here. Besides, I owe it to Leo to get him out. I feel a warm rush of relief flow over me, knowing Kuzo will be with me. I don't think I'd be able to do any of this alone. So, we're going to get Leo. Kuzo nods. Well, I am at least. You should really stay here and get some more rest after what you went through. Of course, I'd rather stay here and hide until Kuzo comes back, but Leo tried to save me back at the diner. Risk his life to do it, even though he's being a creep and manipulative bastard about it. After everything Leo had done for me, everything he'd done to me, you don't owe him shit. No, I'm going to go with you. Kuzo shakes his head. I don't think so. It'll make things easier if it's just me. Why? Besides, I'll have Leo's gun with me in case something goes wrong. He was my boyfriend. I can't just sit here while you save him. Kuzo paused. Listen, I know Leo and I know he would never want me to bring you into something like this. Yeah, well, Leo's not wanting me to do something never stopped me before. Getting defiant like this is making me feel better. Gives me purpose again. Because it looks like he's about to shake his head again, but I continue. Besides, it might help things. One of us could go in while the other distracts Duke or something. Kuzo looks unsure, so I press my advantage. And if something goes wrong, one of us would be there to help the other. Kuzo pulls out one of his whiskers. Maybe. If it's just Duke there, he might not even be there. He might be at Brian's trailer or something. Something else around town. Kuzo sighs, then looks me right in the eye. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm not, but I nod anyway. Oh boy. Sunday. It's been a day. We try to keep off the road in the brush on our way to Duke's house. Despite our situation, the biggest thing on my mind right now is ticks. Funny how the mind works. The faint shouts and yells coming from town are more frequent now. Another pop comes from that direction. It reminds me of the gun Kuzo had tucked into his waistband. He never used one before, and it took us a solid couple of minutes to decide if he should even stick it there. Another pop. I can't help but think that's where the motel is, where Jenna might be. Here, though, not much is out of place aside from the smell of smoke on the breeze. That is until we come across a body hanging from a tree about 100 yards from Duke's house. I'm the first to notice it, and when I do, I gasp and instinctively reach for Kuzo. He catches my hand, then looks up as he holds onto me. It's high up, maybe about 50 feet, but from the marks on the fur, I think it's a fox. Oh, Jesus. Kuzo whispered next to me as I look away, feeling my stomach turn again. What the hell? How did he get up there? I look back and see what's hanging by his wrist. I don't think he could have done that himself. Yeah. We both stare up at him for a little while longer, enough to notice the long, vertical slashes down his back. Those are the same cuts I saw on the other guy. Kuzo whispered distractedly. But who put him up there? Kuzo's silent and I keep staring up at the guy, the first dead guy I've ever seen. Suddenly, all my motivation to get Leo starts to evaporate. Kuzo rests a hand on my shoulder and I jump. Sorry. Kuzo pats me. You alright? I'll take you back, okay? That sounded like the best idea to the world right now. I hesitate. When I think of Leo, I imagine him doing the same situation as I was with Brian. Duke didn't seem as fucked up, but I have no idea what he's capable of. That thought makes it feel as if my heart is dropping through the ground, so I grip my teeth and shake my head. No, I'm okay. Kuzo looks at me closely, then nods. Okay, let's move back towards the road. Though I don't think anyone is around right now anyway. I want to move towards the road too, mainly because I'm actually starting to worry that moving further away from the town really is dangerous. Duke's house is dark as we approach it. As we get closer though, I see flashes of light from a window well. We both crouch next to the house, behind the small cluster of sage bushes. Alright, so all I can really think to do is knock on the door and see if he's there. I swallow. You say hiding, of course, but if he does come out, I don't know. I may try to put him down right there. Then I come in and help. Kuzo let out a little chuckle. Yeah, but again, I'm not sure if that's what it'll do. We might be able to talk him out of this. Yeah. I don't have much faith in that plan. But if he isn't there, we'll probably go in and find Leo, alright? Okay. My heart rate picks up as I realize how close we are to making this happen. He's gonna betray us. I feel like he's gonna betray us. He's in the image. Like, the brothers are in the image that we were supposed to look at. We're gonna get betrayed here. I have a feeling. I'm putting my whole Caducy in this. My complicity. Like, this seems like a betrayal. Maybe we should have at least looked for the sheriff. Maybe we should have gone straight to the motel. Alright. I can tell Kuzo is nervous too, as he wipes his hands on his tank top before standing up slowly. Just watch from here. If he comes out with his gun, though, I'm not going to try anything. He hesitates. And if I get shot or something, don't help. Just run back to my house and start looking for your other friends, I guess. Now I'm really starting to feel unprepared for all of this. Everything is moving way too fast. There isn't really any time, though. We have to save Leo as soon as possible. There's no telling what Duke might be doing with him. As Kuzo starts moving away, I get the urge to hug him. He's done so much for me already, saving me and now trying to save Leo, but by now he's already halfway across the yard to the house. I hold my breath and watch as Kuzo's dark form melds in with the blackness of the house. It's like he's being swallowed up by it in a way. Oh my god, that scared me. After a few moments, I hear him knock on the door. I listen, trying to breathe through my mouth instead of whistling through my nose, so I can better hear what's going on. Kuzo knocks on the door more loudly. Hey, it's good. I need some help. I look up and down the road where someone's going to hear his shouting. There's a slight rustling behind me, and I look back, eyes wide. I don't see anything at first, but then I feel like there's a shape behind another grove of sagebush about 20 feet back. Something's crouched, the moonlight defining its shape through the bush. I squint, completely stopping my breathing. It looks like it has a tail, a really thick one, like an otter? Is it Dale? I can't even tell if it's really a person, though. Chase! Kuzo whispers, shouts, and I jump before stumbling to my feet. The shape behind me doesn't move at all, and I try to reassure myself it's probably a rock. I jog over to Kuzo as he tries the door, trying to not think about much as I just saw. Locked. He looks around for a while and then starts moving down to the side of the house. Look for a window. Are we going to break one? Maybe. Should only take us a few minutes to sweep the house. Then we could get the hell out. We quickly spot the window about 10 feet away. Kuzo looks in and bites his lip. I'm just worried that Duke might still be in there with a gun or something. He bends over, picking up the sizable rock. Well, not much a choice. If I say run, run. Got it? I nod and Kuzo lifts the rock above his head before smashing it through the window. The sound is probably the loudest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. I cover my ears like it's gonna lessen the sound. Kuzo jumps into the side away from the window, reaching back to hold onto me. The fur on Kuzo's body frizzes up, and I see his ears perked up as far as they can go. Once the final tinkling of glass subsides, we both listen. My ears are ringing, but the only other sound I can hear is the chirping of crickets. Finally, Kuzo lets out a soft breath. All right, let's go. I help him push out a few more shards of glass. Once that's done, the raccoon hoists himself inside, very carefully maneuvering around the sharp, broken edges. He turns and reaches out to me, helping me through in the same fashion. Even though I'm trying to be careful, when I bring my arm in, it drags along the jagged edge of the glass, sticking out from the side. I grimace, the fiery pain taking the moment to really set in. Shit, you okay? He grabs my wrist, so I pull my arm up to examine it by the moonlight and sucks in a breath. Oh fuck, you might need stitches for that. That's when I see the blood starting to ooze up. It's only about an inch long, but the amount of blood coming up is surprising. Damn it, I'll take care of it after we find Leo. I pulled my arm away despite Kuzo still trying to take a look at it. All right, I'll see if we can find something to wrap it up in. Oh my god.